get when you're pressing play, binging, and blockbustering. The ing you get when you're DSTVing.
Now that's a way to make an entrance.
Get that ing with all sorts of packages to match your with DSTV.
Tomorrow, watch it in the evening and hear it now on Oblate Radio.
Good afternoon and welcome to you who are listening to Oblate Radio Liseli and those watching us on our Facebook page. With the main news, I am Inonge Kufanga. Coming up in the news. Bricklayers threatened to lock a 1x3 classroom block at Ngombala Community School over unpaid wages. LASIF warns of financial crisis. Only few pensioners remit contributions. And Gilbert Liswaniso urges Burundian youths to engage in politics that uplift the nation. These and many other stories, but first we hear from the church. Pope Leo XIV expresses profound sorrow over the murder of 2 children and the injuring of 17 others at the Annunciation Catholic Church and School Complex in the USA city of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Pope Leo XIV has expressed his profound sorrow upon learning of the loss of life and injuries following the shooting that took place at Annunciation Church in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the USA. In a telegram sent to Archbishop Bernard Helber of Minneapolis, the Pope expressed his heartfelt condolences and the assurance of spiritual closeness to all those affected by this terrible tragedy, especially the families now grieving the loss of a child. The telegram, signed by Cardinal Pietro Parolin, Secretary of State, says Pope commends the souls of the deceased children to the love of Almighty God and prays for the wounded, as well as the first responders, medical personnel, and clergy who are caring for them and their loved ones. A man opened fire on worshippers gathered at the Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis, the largest city of the state of Minnesota in the United States. The attack occurred at 8:30 in the morning local time during a back-to-school mass. Only several hours after the shooting did police report that at least 2 children, aged 8 and 10, were killed and others 17 were injured, including 14 children, with 7 in serious condition. The motive behind the attack that took place remains unknown. Bricklayers who constructed a 1x3 classroom block at Ngalama Community School in Mongo District, funded through the Constance Development Fund (CDF), have vowed to lock the completed building until they receive payment from the contractor who hired them. Sikute Ziezi, the foreman of the project, told Oblate Liseli News in an interview that he and 10 other employees of Kulivanga Construction Company have not been paid for their work despite completing the project a year ago. Mr. Ziezi explains that they have made numerous efforts to secure their wages, including reporting the matter to the Labour Office. However, the office failed to assist them in obtaining their payment. As a result, the workers have resolved to lock the classroom block until the contractor settles their dues.
Lawa ni January 2023 wa fasaiti yo kalamuselezi wabona nono kalezi ndi wali kuyera balufetera mashire nhamu ngeli mwa June 2023 kuzwa 4 verekiona twalo mane komiti ofeza muselezi wo ofeza maya tuweze handover mwa April 2024 unazo akanso kubafani bona bakwati muselezi kuofelile na shire nyaluna nge barupuma kuli mawe abafitani nipa bakanso mawe baila cyabitwa ni manufacture nikati kwese kwanza 2 years last year of last 7 August wife ye kwa eba ndikwa eba ko tebwe tumera kubasomera ko information yao la 9 September aisitera zinakoyo kupalire ani kutile kwa eba wabene baserita barona azini nyine na kambo teke nibo nakapani bali baitizile mashelei ebyo kumanya kwa ani kutile kwa eba kunyoba atisa kwa kandi kinyi watu wao sakati mantobi akamone kuveleza wabene baserita mto tawauna akikasa kino ndikubera ko rikuti bona abadiri ngangita badama company badiri nganga itambelita badama individual wao wabachiwa kwa manto wala ndiki company kuti bona badiri nganga individual ulikamenya ufilwe employed kimu kifera twalo mtoto kwa nzaba kwa kutalima leza ma company kuti bona abakoni kulebe bona ane rukana bakao information yo tero mupo ata bayakuri wao batapeleka bikuru yo kiaza kilasi yo anti usuma nabasire nyaruma kilasi yo ko nekazi batiri kubeleka kuyo ne abeleka sasa ikisema nafaa kono na out manizeri galon.
It is reported that Namasiku Simasiku, director of Kulibanga Enterprise, was paid by Mongo Municipal Council to carry out the construction. Despite receiving the funds, the contractor has allegedly failed to pay her employees, but the contractor has refuted the claims, emphasizing that the local authority is yet to pay.
Abasikali ulifa kwa full payment aisikasiwa niwo kasabilize nibasi ulia lukamisa ku muba tesenti ukute muyo pendula pale ifa balance yamina ikuli mwendia lusikala baki kamabo mo kikaki as one of the leaders wabona ndi kwateli kuyomola kwateli kokumi mtoto sinyekile kwateli tuma handles tukama tuota hanilisi yatu kulia kaluka kutakwae Usera kuyanize kulibyolile nageleza fixi bakinsa kulikira site sayona ne pasela kuweza cholo peto batofene aluna issue izali amazoyazi bahari kwaka kolu yake kolu kutabalubuleza kuweza lusikali ezafera ka fitire kutte kwateni loyeza msevezo kutokuta kwa ofisi lobabya useze peto baya bayoeza certify peto balufapene ya kwa office ko babulera neluire azima statement lobabuleza kiba tokali nanga ma radio department bazira even now baile secheke baile bayabulera presswana.
And Mongo Municipal Council Director of Engineering Services, John Siangandu, has advised the bricklayers to find alternative ways of resolving their demand for payments than locking the classroom block, stating that doing so is trespass and will be arrested.
So if the contractor has not paid the workers, so instead of them locking the school, otherwise they'll be arrested. That is now trespass. They'll be arrested. Let them go to labor office for them. Let them go back to, if they've got a complaint with the labor office, they can still report to the one where the labor officer reports. That way they are going to resolve the matter. Closing a school is the trespass and they can be arrested.
Ngalama Community School in Kama Ward was handed over to the school in April this year after its completion. Liuwa Constituency Member of Parliament Tumbeko Msokotwane has commissioned 5 staff houses and a 1x3 classroom block at Luola Secondary School valued at a cost of over 3 million kwacha. The project, which was managed by the Ministry of Education with the funding from government, started in 2022 and was completed in 2025. School head teacher Moses Kasanda has thanked government and the area member of parliament for actualizing the construction of the 5 staff houses and a classroom block.
We wish to thank the government for funding this project. Lola Secondary was given a project of 1x3 a classroom block and 5 staff houses. This day we are happy that the commissioning of the project has been done by Honorable Mr. Msokotwani, who is our area member of parliament. We sincerely thank the government for providing these funds to run the project and have the project completed.
Meanwhile, Kalumbu head teacher Mola Mukosiku knows that the school had challenges with infrastructure, but the challenge is becoming a thing of the past.
As a school, we really commend government for coming to our aid, because this school was literally down in terms of infrastructure development. But with the coming and the increase of the CDF and the coming of the new Don government, at least we've seen these projects being constructed at our school. And as a school manager, I want to thank and commend the government of the day for this very initiative. Therefore, I want the government to continue in this trajectory so that schools like Kalumbu can benefit. However, my request to the government of the day is if they can continue provide us with staff houses, accommodation for teachers, pit latrines, and also more desks. Last but not the least is solar power, because as a school, if we can be provided with solar power, that is going to enable our learners to learn even during night, so that when they move out from this school to a secondary school like Lola here, they are fully equipped.
And Luola Ward Councillor Eric Nalishovos Makando has expressed gratitude to government, noting that the upcoming water reticulation will help service the school and the surrounding areas.
I'm happy that today I'm being interviewed after we have commissioned our expected classroom and the 5 staff house that we've been building for this year. So we thank the government that they have given us the money so that we could have been done what we could. And then we want to thank also the government for the upcoming water scheme which is coming, the water integration, which will service the school, the clinic, the dormitory, and the other school, the primary school. So for that one, we are very much humbled because this guest has just come with layer. Otherwise, we are happy as a councillor, we are the people of Lola, and then the nation at large because we are also receiving the cake of the national.
And the area member of parliament, Dr. Stumbeko Msokotwani, has encouraged people of Liwa to continue applying for construction of classroom blocks using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF.
Milukazwela pili ku isasi bakasamnase kuongele na kechelele nge usabone lichicho bakasamnase mi kachenule womu yao kiona makalelo mi lukazwela pili kuli muinisa ni fafasi mwa 2026 loeze sikamanyi mini wana kuli kiswane kuli kambi kina yakawa famu kopona 4 nikago ya kula wana bayo alwekezeni kwa maklasi akulizani keli chembala bana babo nasa na bahoro fala mateni twale na mikupa amkago kwa na baruti kama makupa klasi wekeza kwa teni ya vitu beza horo zepi kufalisana mulimu amituse.
Government is currently building a pupil dormitory that is already at 98% complete and a water reticulation system using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. The local authority's superannuation fund, LASIF, has disclosed that out of its 16,000 pensioners nationwide, less than 2,000 are actively remitting contributions. LASIF board chairperson Martin Livinga tells Phoenix News that the scheme has been grappling with critical challenges, including a massive shortfalls in member contributions, which has undermined its funding base. He has described the situation as a financial and operational crisis that threatens the pension scheme's ability to provide retirement benefits to employees of local authorities and other public bodies. Mr. Livinga has since warned that the low compliance rate poses a serious risk to long-term sustainability of the fund and its capacity to pay retiree on time. He further notes that the challenges have been worsened by legislative and environmental changes that have not been matched with adjustments in the scheme's operations. And a senior citizen in Mongo district has commended the UPND government for implementing life-changing initiatives, especially in rural areas. Speaking to Oblate Liseli News, Chapman Stwala disclosed that initiatives such as Cash for Work, among others, have helped the clearing of canals. Mr. Stwala says that farmers are now producing huge yields due to the cleared canals. He has since called on government to continue implementing such initiatives as they are changing communities.
Ana masinya Cash for Work. Masinya kwa kanao kiliari. Atro tusa kuli katekule kuli mutai kwa tashi kwa kuli talime. Mukabona kuli watu bali makusana kuse kuna ni butwani. Watu lurike baza increase kwa mahekta zaboni. Kubona kuli kandi family buto kwa ni mimane ti watu babalime aza kucha. Kima local farmers. Kono bako nile mane tutu muwaba ngubako nile kuleksa. Mane honafa baba mune balima ni winter maize niwa itumela kuli bamusho kwa canal clearing ni ba isa uhuru kuli mane ba kone kulisamaria mangata kuli batu balime nika kuli kucha kona ono mtoe tunaga kuli amukata ibamboni kona step of food yalo na kwa itumela uhuru kuli nibona balimi nibona basike bazwapa na muso au shirikwe kubatokolera mabwa atire kutotisa na community na mavillage azimani baba inzi mwa town twao kone kulima manesa kuta.
Shangombo Town Council has awarded 21 contracts to local contractors under the 2025 Constituency Development Fund CDF with a total value of over 6 million kwacha. The contract signing ceremony, which took place in the council chamber at the Civic Centre, Shangombo Constituency Member of Parliament Mubika urged the contractors to continue delivering quality works that will stand a test of time and contribute to the sustainable development of the district. Further encouraged the contractor awarded to consider engaging local CDF skills development bursary graduates in order for them to amass the much needed work experience. According to Shangombo Town Council Public Relations Officer Munalula Wamlume, says the contract cover a range of community infrastructure projects, including the construction of classroom blocks and health posts.
So as Shangombo Town Council, yesterday we did have the award signing ceremony for these contractors that had won the tenders to construct some community projects around the constituency. So in total, we have spent over 6 million kwacha towards these projects. The contracts that have been awarded are as follows. We have got a construction of a 1x2 classroom block at Market Primary School. This is in Simward. The project cost is 640, and also a construction of a 1x2 classroom block community school in Sipuma Ward, also projected at 680,000 kwacha, and also construction of a 1x2 classroom block at Sebuku Primary School. This is in Ilondo Ward, and also it is pegged at 649,000 kwacha. Construction of a rural health post at Shilukoma. This is in Kaungamashi Ward. The project is pegged at 749,000 kwacha, and also a construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Spuma Secondary School. This is in Spuma Ward. The project is cost at 849,000 kwacha, and also we've got a construction of a health post. This is at Kanga. The project is also projected at 749. I've got a construction of another 1x2 classroom block at Namangomba Primary School. The project is pegged at 648,000 kwacha, and also we've got the construction of another 1x2 classroom block in Manywi Primary School. This is in Spuma Ward. The project is also pegged at 669,000 kwacha. We've got a construction of another 1x2 classroom block at Sulumu Primary School. This is in Veshe Ward. The project is cost at 667,000 kwacha. These projects, as you can see, that most of them are classroom blocks. We want to take the education closer to our children in the district so that they too can have access to quality education.
And finally, in our news, UPND National Youth Chairman Gilbert Liswaniso has commended Burundian youths for their patriotism and dedication to the country's peace through engagement in politics focused on uplifting the nation's welfare rather than personal interests. Speaking in Gitega, the political capital of Burundi, Mr. Liswaniso urged youths to continue working for the betterment of Burundi by protecting the peace, security and stability achieved through the restoration of democracy. The celebration of 20 years of CNDD, FDD in power and the Imbonerakure Day help the nation reflect on where the country is coming from, the gains after stability, and the future ahead. The UPND National Youth Chairman emphasized that President Hakainde Hichilema, like His Excellency President Evariste Ndayamisheye, supports youth's participation in politics and developmental programs while continuously aligning policies aimed at improving the welfare of the younger generations and keeping pace with contemporary trends.
I want to appeal to the young people of Burundi that this is your country. Protect it. Security, unity, and peace is more important Once that is protected, then you are going to develop. So even as it's similar in Zambia, that you have got a lot of challenges, yes, politics. Like in Zambia, politics is every day. When we talk about Democrats in Zambia, everybody forming political parties, attacking left and right, but it takes the leadership also there, that what is our vision. So what we are fighting in Zambia, it is economic freedom in terms of agriculture. I want to thank the Burundi, the people of Burundi, that when we hit with drought, you contributed. Yes, can you clap yourself? That's why the drought was huge in Zambia. But I want to tell you that after that drought, President Chilema emphasized each and everybody. You cannot leave agriculture to few individuals. All of us, even just an acre, go and do something and fuel. Today we have a bumper harvest in Zambia.
The UPND National Youth Chairman is in the company of National Youth IPS Francis Kope, Michael Chuz, UPND Special Assistant for Mobilization in the Office of the Secretary General, Given Luenshi, UPND Lusaka Province Committee Member, and Novice Chivula are in Burundi on a tour of duty attending CNDD FDD 20th Anniversary Celebration in Power, which coincides with the 2025 edition of the Imbonerakure Day. As we end the news, a recap of the headlines. Bricklayers threatened to lock a 1x3 classroom block at Ngalama Community School over unpaid wages. LASIF warns of financial crisis as only few pensioners remit contributions. And Gilbert Liswaniso urges Burundian youths to engage in politics that uplift the nation. That ends the main news. If you want to share news or comment on our stories, you can call or WhatsApp on the number 0955 221641. I am Inonge Kufanga, Oblate, Radio Liseli, spreading the light of Christ. Good afternoon.